Welcome to Cinema Bites, your go-to for movie recaps in a flash. Big twists, epic moments, all in just minutes. The movie starts in the Naisco Desert, and we see an essay written about how between 1945 and 1962, the American government conducted nuclear tests, and to this day, it refuses to admit the impact these tests had on people. In the end, 4 researchers looking like astronauts are searching with sonic wave devices to see if there are any living creatures still in that place. The device picks up a signal that something is present, and suddenly, a group of mutants appears, killing them with digging tools. Afterward, they tie up the researchers in the car after killing them and leave. We see flashbacks from the past when the government was conducting nuclear tests, which made the people there look strange and turned them into mutants. We return to the desert and find an old man who owns a gas station and a small market and lives in them. He comes out with a rifle and aims it at a girl named Ruby. We see a small tunnel with a sign saying it's an American Energy Center, and walking there is forbidden, so he goes back to his house. They find a bag in front of the house full of jewelry and a human's eye. The man shouts loudly, saying he doesn't want to do this again. Then a man named Bob arrives who has brought his whole family in the car, his wife Ethel, his son Bobby, his other daughter Brenda and her husband Doug, their little daughter, and 2 dogs. They are traveling to California so that Bob can spend his 25th wedding anniversary with them. He goes to the old man to fill up with gas. There we see that Doug and Bob don't like each other, and Bob always sees Doug as silly, useless, and cowardly. The old man tells them there's a shortcut through the rocks to get to California faster. One of the dogs runs to the small market, and Ethel goes to get the dog. There she sees the bag of jewelry, and the old man realizes she saw it, so he's afraid she'll report him as a thief. He gives them another route, saying it's even shorter and faster, and they go. As they are driving through the desert, something bursts their tire, causing an accident. They find out it was a wire someone put there. Everyone is fine, but the car won't move unless another car comes to tow it or they fix the tire, but they don't have a spare. Doug asks Bob what they will do, and Bob and his son mock him, saying he can't do anything because he's useless and cowardly, and he can't protect his siblings or mother. Bob and Doug start walking in different directions, and we see someone watching them through binoculars. Brenda opens the car, and one of the dogs runs after Bobby until he reaches an empty area. He gets very scared because he hears the dog screaming. He climbs the mountain and finds the dog killed in a horrible way, as if someone had eaten its insides. He runs away in fear, falls off the mountain, and passes out. A mutant girl named Ruby, who is actually kind, finds him. She is the same girl the old man was calling. There's a mutant holding the other dog, eating it. Doug is walking in a big empty place with old cars and wonders how these cars got there and where their owners are. He finds a diary, a fishing rod, and some old things, takes them, and night falls. Bob reaches the gas station, tired, and keeps calling for the old man, but he's not there. He finds a broken phone, pulls out his gun, and finds old news about the nuclear tests and pictures of people who turned into mutants. The workers were working in the tunnels, and nuclear bombs were dropped on them, turning them into mutants. Bob runs to the car outside and tries to start it. When he turns on the lights, he hears the old man's voice, goes down, and finds him drunk and crying. The old man tells Bob he didn't want to do this, but they threatened him. He used to send travelers to the mutants so they could eat them, and in return, the mutants would send him money and gold they found on the people they ate. The old man kills himself. Bob runs to the car, but as soon as he gets in, he finds a mutant sitting behind him who grabs his head and smashes it into the glass until he passes out. The mutants take him away. We return to Bobby, who regains consciousness, and his siblings give him first aid. He hears a noise outside, takes the gun in fear, and finds the other dog. Doug returns and tells them the road ahead is blocked, and the old man tricked them. They are very worried about Bob since he hasn't returned yet. They all get ready to sleep except for Bobby, who hears another noise outside. He goes out to see what happened but finds nothing, and feels like someone is there. He tells Doug and Ethel about the dog he found killed in a horrible way, and that he felt someone was with them but didn't want to tell his sister so as not to scare them. Brenda tries to get help, but no one notices or hears her because they are busy trying to put out Bob, who is on fire. Ethel hears her daughter crying in the car, leaves her mother, and goes to her. She finds a mutant holding her little daughter with a gun. The mutant grabs her and starts harassing her while pointing the gun at her daughter's head. The mother arrives, grabs a big rock, and goes to the car. Before she can hit the mutant, he shoots her. Ethel grabs a screwdriver and stabs the mutant in the leg, but he kills her too. He was about to kill Brenda, but the gun was out of bullets, so he tells her he'll come back to harass her again. After Doug puts out the fire on Bob, he finds he's dead. Doug and Bobby run to the car and find Doug's wife dead, his daughter missing, and his mother-in-law dead too. Brenda is left crying, terrified they might come back. We see a mutant watching them from the mountain, talking on the walkie-talkie, but the other dog comes and bites and kills the mutant. Bobby and Doug argue because Bobby wants to act without a plan, and Bobby tells Doug that Bob was right when he called him weak and cowardly. Suddenly, they hear a noise outside the car, and Bobby shoots his gun at the door. They find the other dog holding the mutant's arm and having killed him. Doug hears a voice on the walkie-talkie saying, "Kill them." So he takes the walkie-talkie from the mutant and talks to another mutant, telling him to return his daughter. He hears his daughter's voice on the walkie-talkie, crying, so he gets angry. The next morning, Doug takes a bat and his dog and goes after the mutants. He lets the dog sniff the mutant's hand to track their exact location and enters a mountain until he finds a tunnel. He goes in and reaches another town with many old houses. At the same time, Bobby and his sister are making traps with the things Doug brought yesterday from the old cars in case mutants come again, so they'll be ready. They put their mother and sister, who died, in the other car. We return to Doug entering one of the houses after seeing his daughter inside and leaving the dog in the car. When he comes in, he finds a bold woman watching TV and he didn't notice that she saw his reflection on the TV. When he grabbed his daughter, she hits him on his head and puts him in a fridge which is full of dead bodies. The dog, when he gone late, he goes to him. When he gets out of it, he finds another mutant sitting on a chair who can't move. The mutant tells him that humans are the reason for their condition and that the government threw nuclear waste in the mines. While they're talking, one of the mutants who harassed Brenda comes and keeps hitting Doug, hitting him again and again. Before he kills him, Doug grabs his jaw, puts it on his leg, grabs the American flag, stabs the mutant in the head, takes the axe that was with the mutant, hits him with it, and kills him. Then he goes out and finds another mutant, so he hits him once in the leg, once in the back, then hits him on the head and kills him too. Then he goes out to look for his daughter, carrying a rifle. We see a mutant, but it's not clear, holding a walkie-talkie and ordering Doug's daughter to be killed. The mutant who raped Brenda comes to kill Doug's little daughter, but he finds a pig's place because Ruby, the good mutant in the movie, took the girl and ran away. Ruby takes the girl and gives her to Doug, but then the mutant comes and keeps hitting Doug, making him drop the rifle. After a big fight, Doug grabs the rifle that fell and shoots the mutant 3 times until he dies. He hugs his daughter, but another mutant comes, and because the bullets didn't affect him, Ruby jumps on him and falls with the mutant off the mountain. We go back to Bobby and his sister Brenda, who find a mutant who took their mother from the car and is eating her. Bobby makes the mutant see him, so he chases him, and indeed, he starts running after him. When he gets to the car, they tie his hand to the window, get out of the car, and blow it up. Doug returns with his daughter and the dog, and they all hug each other. Before the movie ends, we see someone watching them from a distance, which means the story isn't over yet. And there's a second part. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you next time.